Good morning. Apologize for the slight delay beginning Mass. Father Michael and I are transforming what used to be the chapel where daily Mass was had, which before that it was a garage. And we call it the man cave, but we're trying to make it look a little bit more manly and a little less with these carpet squares. So we're painting, and Father Michael decided, I guess, to get up early this morning and start painting. So he's painting the ceiling. And as I was doing my usual morning rush to get down here, because I can't do like early, it's just run. He was painting the ceiling right in front of the door, and he had earphones in. I'm like, move, get out of the way. And he's like, no, go around to the back door. It's like, no, I'm late. He moved. Anyway, it's going to be cool. We found this chandelier thing that has like poker card symbols on it. It's on Amazon, and it's coming from China. It's going to take like 4 months to get here. But it's Amazon says it's Tiffany style. Okay? Like those are Tiffany style, but they're film, remember, right? They're not real. Anyway, so the leper comes to Jesus and he kneels down and begs. He kneels and begs. Very important posture, very important supplication. And he says, if you wish, you can make me clean. And Jesus says, I do will it. That ought to be our prayer, the prayer of that leper. If you wish, you can make me clean. Jesus does will it. He does will to make us clean. He does will to restore us. He does will to heal us. He does will to save us. Then the part that's always confusing, Jesus says, now don't tell anybody, okay? Just go, don't tell anybody. And what does he do? He goes and he tells everybody. But what if he didn't tell everybody, right? You've got this leper that leaves and goes out. He's been an outcast. Like, this is this incurable disease that they had. There is a cure for leprosy now. I forget what it is. It was on House one time where a kid had leprosy and he figured out how to heal it. But it's this incurable disease that's very highly transmissible because your skin is rotting. And so they're outcasts. They have to live outside of society. Everybody knows if they get near to them, they have to shout, unclean, unclean. But now he's healed. His skin is back to normal. He's among the living. He's among society again. He didn't need to tell people, like, hey, I got cured of my leprosy. They know. They're going to be like, wait a minute, you were a leper. You were weird. You were a freak. You were all disfigured. And what happened? You can't cure leprosy. What's he going to say? Like, some guy helped me. His name's Jesus. And I think there's a similar thing in our spiritual life, right? People look at us and they're like, wait a minute, you used to be a jerk. You still are a jerk, but you got a little bit of religion to you now, right? Remember when I told my family that I was going to go to the seminary? They're like, I don't think so. Yeah, I know that's a shock to you, isn't it? That people were surprised that I said I was going to go to the seminary. But when we're healed spiritually, right, people might look to us and they're like, wait a minute. You're still the same person, right? You still have the same personality. You can't fix that, sorry. But there's something different about you. There can be something different about me as well, right? When we see the way that Jesus works in our lives, that he can heal us spiritually, others can see that as well. Others can see that Jesus can heal them spiritually. We don't necessarily have to go and tell everybody, right? Now, that's not to say we shouldn't preach the gospel. There's that saying attributed to St. Francis, preach the gospel at all times, use words when necessary. He never actually said that. That's kind of like saying cure the sick, but use medicine when necessary. We have to preach the gospel. That's really important. Which one of them is making that noise? Is that Lucy? Lucy. I got her to be quiet. Oh, and now we got the choir going. Was that Andrew? Or is that Zach? All these little babies. We have to preach the gospel in our lives. We do so by living our lives according to the gospel, but we also actually have to preach it, right? People have to see in us that there's been a change. They have to see in us that there's been a cure. They have to see in us that something is different. But then we have to explain it, right? We can't just say, figure it out on your own. So this leper that was cured, it all began with him kneeling and begging. If you wish, you can make me clean. If you will it, you can make me clean. If you will it, you can restore me. I do will it. Jesus does will to make us clean. He does will to heal us. He does will to restore us. He does will to forgive us. And so let us beg him on our knees. Let us beg him for his mercy, for his healing, for his forgiveness, and for his peace.